to day 5 of your yoga lockdown challenge, and today I've got a heart opening flow for you. So we're going to start to open our hearts and feel the love, and also heart openers are also back bends, so there will be a lot of back bending throughout this. Hopefully your bodies are feeling nice and rejuvenated after yesterday's stretchy flow and meditation. So yeah, as always, just listen to your bodies. Remembering child's pose is always an option. For this flow, I'd like you all to grab a pillow or something that, so it's for our last posture at the end. We're gonna lie in Shavasana but really open up our hearts. So yeah, grab something like that now, and then when you're ready, we'll all come into a wide leg child pose. So just putting your cushion to the side for now. Knees opening to outside edges of the mat, and then just sinking our hearts down to the mat. Either placing your forehead down onto the mat like we normally do in our wide leg child's pose, or if you are living in a little bit more of an open body, then try and get your chin down to the mat, because this is just going to start to already open up the heart a little bit more than you usually would do. Starting to feel the shoulders opening up, maybe edging the fingers and hands a little bit further forward just to open up that heart some more. Now we're all going to come to our fingertips, just lift our hearts up a little bit and just see if you can sink your heart closer to the mat. It might just stay here, this might be a really strong posture for you already, that's absolutely fine. If you are living in a more flexible body, then just push your heart further down and see if you can get it to sink down onto the mat. And we're going to walk our fingertips over to the left and lower down. Again, either having your forehead on the mat or your chin on the mat. And then walk your fingertips over to the right. And then come to centre. Now we're going to come to a pose called puppy pose, or extended puppy pose. So we're going to lift our bums up a little bit higher in the air, toes are touching at the back, and then as we lower down, we'll come onto our fingertips again, and our bums are sticking up a little bit in the air. We all look very strange in this posture, but then sinking our hearts down to the mat, and it just gives us even more of an opening. Again, this might be really challenging. If it is, then just sink a little bit further back and just come to wherever you can do today. Now we're all going to come to all fours, and we're going to sink down into a cobra, so letting our hips sink to the floor, to the mat, and then pushing our hearts up into a high cobra. And then we're going to wave back to child's pose. Come forward, snake forward to our cobra, and back to child's pose. And one last time, maybe lifting the knees off the mat and coming into our upward facing dog this time. And then waving back through child's pose before we push up to our first downward facing dog of the practice. So as it is the first one, just taking a moment to make sure our positioning is correct. So hands shoulder width distance, feet hip width distance, pushing our bums up into the air first, before lowering our heels towards the mat, maybe bending the knees because you want the extension of the spine more than the straightening of the legs. And then just sinking our hearts back towards our knees. If you bend the knees more, it'll be easier to sink the heart down. And as it is a heart opening flow, then maybe you want to try out this variation. Now we're all going to step our right foot to the outside edge of the right hand, coming into a lizard posture. Either staying up on the hands, or if you are slightly more flexible, then maybe coming down to the elbows and just looking forward. Maybe feeling into the hip a little bit, opening it up gently. Now we're all going to come onto the left hand, we're going to tuck the back toes under, and we're going to just open up our hearts here. So bringing your hand through your chest and up to the sky, and maybe reaching it back round, and then back to the front. And we'll do this again. So bringing the heart, pulling all the energy up from inside, and opening up our hearts back. And one last time, pulling the energy up and down. Amazing. Right, now we're going to push back into our downward facing dog. In our downward facing dog, we're going to see if we can lift up that right leg into the air and bend the leg. If you feel stable here, then you can test your balance and see if you can bring that left hand in closer and grab the right foot. This is challenging, so don't worry if you fall out of it. Just try again, and then gaze forward, and this will open up our hearts. And lower. Well done if you managed to have a go at that. It is a very tricky posture to keep your balance. So all meeting back in our downward facing dog, and then bringing our left foot to the outside of the left hand and coming into lizard on the left side. So again, either just staying in our or up on our hands, or you can come down to your elbows if you're feeling a little bit more mobile today. One side might be different from the other, but try to keep it consistent. Then we're going to come up to this variation. So if you want to, you can welcome to stay in lizard, or you can flow with me here by tucking the back toes under, opening up the left hand, drawing up the energy inside, and reaching it back and opening up the heart. And then doing this again, so bringing up the energy and opening up our hearts, and again bringing up our energy, opening up, and then coming to the front. Stepping back to our downward facing dog. This time lifting the left leg up into the air and bending it. Either staying here, making sure the gaze is forward, open up the heart, or testing your balance and seeing if you can grab that left foot. One side might be considerably harder or easier, and trying to gaze forward if you can and smile. And then lower back to a downward facing dog. Maybe just shake those hips out a little if you're feeling some tension there. Amazing. Now we're going to bend our knees and we're going to jump to the top of the mat. And then just come up to standing. We're going to test our balance a little bit more here, so we're going to come to dancer's pose. So in dancer's pose, we'll start with our lifting reaching our right leg up. So we want to plant firmly our left foot into the mat. We want to, it depends which way you want to do it. So you can have a normal grip, so I'll show you from here, either having your hand around the outside edge of the ankle, or you can do a flip grip, which it depends on your body, what you find easier, but I prefer it from the inside as I can kick up more easier, but just try it out and just see which grip you prefer. So taking whichever grip you'd like to today, rooting firmly down that left leg, bringing the heart up to the sky and lifting up our left hand. Now to do this posture we want to make a counterbalance, so we start by kicking into that. We don't want to move our chest yet because we want to use the momentum from the leg kicking into that hand, and eventually you won't be able to kick anymore until your body will just consequently start to lower. And this is the action we want to create, this counterbalance, gazing over the front hand. If you fall out, just come back into it. The more you kick, the easier it is to balance and the deeper you'll get into the posture. Now we're going to, with control, step back into a warrior two. So in our warrior twos, making sure we're pushing into our front knee, into a right angle, arms come out long, gazing over the front hand. Now we're going to open our hearts and reverse our warriors. So we need to sweep forward, reach, 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 and then sweep over and reverse. Our heart should be coming up to the sky here. And then windmilling the hands back down to a low lunge. Step our left leg back to meet the right into a plank, and then we'll lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. So I'll show you knees, chest, chin. So knees, chest, chin, untuck the toes, forward to cobra. Look over the left shoulder here, and the right. And then we'll push back through to a downward facing dog. And we're all going to bend our knees here and meet at the top of the mat. Coming up to standing. Well done. Now we've got to do the other leg. So, firmly rooting down into our right leg this time. Again, taking whichever grip you'd like to. We'll hold it for quite a while so you can test out both grips if you'd like to. Just see which one suits you best. So push down, catch that left hand with the left ankle. Bringing our arm up, elongating our spine. Then pushing into that back hand to create this counterbalance. Gazing over that front hand. Remember, if you come out, just come back into it. And then, with control, seeing if we can gently and slowly come out into our warrior twos. So here, remembering our foot either parallel with the back end of the mat or 45-degree angle, pushing into this front knee, and then opening up our arms and gazing over our front hand. Now reaching forward, reversing our warriors. Remember, hearts are coming up to the sky. and then coming to our low lunge, step back chaturanga, or knees chest chin like I showed before. So I'll show you chaturanga this time. Elbows tucked in, lower, 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 upward facing dog or cobra, making sure the shoulders aren't hunched up, have been rolling down your body, and then pushing back to a downward facing dog. And now we're just going to come to a kneeling position on our mats, and we're just going to start to open the arms into a cactus shape. So I'll show you from the front. So I want to just basically open up our arms like this, opening our hearts up, and then we're just going to round the spine and then open up and round. And last time, really exaggerating the posture here, head maybe going back and round. So that will hopefully open up the back gently. So now when we come, we're going to come to a camel posture, which is quite a deep back bend. So I'll show you different levels of it, and just stay, don't go to the next one if it's already too strenuous. Just build up the muscles in the back for the previous one, and then one day So to do this, the first one, we're going to have our toes tucked like this. Just it brings the where we're going to get back to slightly higher, so it's an easier version. So we'll lean back. We'll start with our hands on the bottom of our lower backs, and we're just going to push into our backs and just feel our hips move forward. So just do this a few times, shoulders rolling back, head going back. We'll do that a couple more times, so shoulders back and head going back. You really want to be pushing through your pelvis here, and just naturally your heart will come back, and eventually your head. So now if you'd like to go a bit further, we're going to lean back and this, and then we're going to reach for our ankles. So everyone have their hands on their lower back, push your hips forwards, and just seeing if they'll come to your heels. If they do, then you can either stay here or push more and just let your head fall back. And then to come back out, placing your hands on your pelvis and coming back up. Either doing that one 2 more times, or we're going to take 2 more variations. It's up to you. So the next one, we're going to have our toes down, and as we go back, we'll reach for our heels, which will be slightly further away this time. So making sure your leg knees aren't too far apart. They need to be hip width distance. Pushing back, head back, reaching for our heels, pushing your heart up to the sky, and head back. And then with control, hands to hips, and we'll all just come to lower onto our knees here for a little breather. This posture can be quite overwhelming the first few times you do it, so if you do feel lightheaded or anything, it's completely normal, don't worry about it. Your body will just get used to it over time. So if you'd like to do it again, we're going to come up to our knees. This time we're not going to start with our hands on our hips, we're going to start with our hands on our feet, and then, so you can grab them from seated if you want to, and then push up into a camel. And then with control, coming up, and we'll just all come to a narrow leg child's pose to counterbalance what we've just done. and then everyone coming up. And we're going to come to standing. So standing somewhere near the middle of your mat, or just a bit towards the front. And we're going to come to a half moon posture. If any of you have a block, I should have said this at the start, or you can use anything, a water bottle. I'm going to grab a water bottle to start showing you. Just anything that you can place your hand on for balance. If you're not familiar with this pose, it just might make the posture slightly easier the first few times you do it. So we're going to root through our right leg, and our right hand is going to come either to the block or bottle, whatever you're using, or to the mat in front, about 6 inches in front. So we're going to lean forward as if we're coming into our warrior threes, and then we're going to place our hand on to that block or whatever you're using. I'm going to move out of the way. And then you're gazing where your hand is for now. Back foot is flexed and heart is rotating. If you can challenge yourself further and look either forwards or up to the left hand, whatever you are feeling today. If you would like to take it a little bit further, then you can bend that left knee and grab your foot with your left hand, push into it like we did in dancer's pose, and open up the heart towards the front of the mat. Then we're going to release that grip if you had it, and then we're just going to bend that standing leg and step back with our left leg into a low lunge. Amazing if you had a go at that. I know it is quite tricky, so if you just did the half moon with the block, then that's still like such a good place to be right now. But just over time, you'll gradually be able to pick it up and it'll seem like it was never even an issue. So now we're going to come into low lunge. Remember keeping our hips square, pushing down into our hips to open up this left quad, reaching our hands up to the sky. And then maybe coming into this mudra, Kali Mudra, and pushing our hearts forward and reaching our arms further back, coming into a back bend. Now we're going to frame that front foot. We're going to step back into a downward facing dog. And then we're just going to bring our left foot between our hands and come into low lunge on the left side. Untucking those back toes. Squaring our hips, pushing in, opening up that right thigh this time. Arms coming up to the sky. Maybe taking the Kali Mudra again. And maybe taking that back bend. Now we're going to come back to half moon on the left side now. So again, taking your block or prop, whatever you used, if you did, and then we're just going to push up to a high lunge, place our hand either on that block or on the mat, 6 inches in front, and then push up, opening up the hip, opening up that arm, the right arm up to the sky this time, flexing out those right foot. Again, if you'd like to challenge yourself, you can grab that back foot, coming into our sugar cane posture, pushing back into that right leg like we did in dancers, and opening up our hearts forward. Then just lowering it to the back of the mat, and everyone meeting back into a downward facing dog. Maybe just shaking those hips. And then just coming to a child's pose, wide-legged or narrow, whatever you prefer. Just taking a moment to come back to the breath. In your next inhale, we're going to push back up into a downward facing dog. We're going to lift up our right legs again, bending the hip. Bending the leg, opening the hip. And then we're all going to bring our knees through to our chest and see if we can place it through under our left hand, and then just opening up the heart. So bending that front leg and opening up the heart. And then stepping it back into our downward facing dog. Now lifting up the left leg, bending the knee, opening up the hip, and again knee to chest, bringing it across our bodies under our right armpit, and then again lifting up the arm, bending into the front knee, or you can have it straight, just whatever feels more natural, and opening up the heart. Then bringing it back into our downward facing dog, bending our knees maybe, and then straightening, and then we're just going to come forward to a plank, and we're just going to lower our bodies to the mat. Well done. So we'll start to calm down now, and we've got a nice long Shavasana at the end, so not too much to go. We're going to just bring our right hand across our bodies, bring our left leg into our bums and pull it closer. You might be up here, that's fine, as long as you can feel the stretch in your quad, then that's fine, doesn't matter where you get to. And then just pushing through the arm as we're still opening up our hearts. Over, grabbing that right foot and pulling it to wherever it comes to, as long as you feel the opening in the quads. And releasing. Amazing. So now we're going to come to a well-deserved nice long Shavasana. So I want you to all grab your cushions or whatever you manage to get hold of. We want to make it fairly high, so I'm going to fold mine in two, just so I get more of an opening here. And then you're just going to lie back onto it. You want it to be kind of directly under your heart, so that your shoulders touch the mat. If your shoulders aren't touching the mat, then you've gone too high, so just lower it if you can. And then we just want to bring our arms down beside us, palms facing upwards. You can either have your legs out long in a traditional Shavasana shape, or you can bring your feet into a butterfly. Just wherever you feel most comfortable today. And we're going to take a fairly long Shavasana here, just feeling our hearts open one last time. bring the practice to a close now, but please feel more than welcome to stay here as long as you would like to, as it is such a nice posture to be in. I could stay all day. So we're going to just open the legs out if they were in a Baddha Konasana shape, and then we'll just remove the cushion from underneath us, gently just push it to the side, and then hug our knees into our chest and just rock side to side, starting to reawaken the body. Then we'll just fall over to one side. Before pushing up to a seated position, maybe sitting on your cushions if this is comfortable for you. Just keeping our eyes closed, rolling our shoulders back down, making sure our hearts are still opening up. We'll do one last releasing breath together, so all breathing in and exhale. Namaste everyone. Thank you so much for flowing with me again. Hopefully you loved that as much as I did. Heart openings are my favourite type of flow and back bends, so maybe we'll see another one like that later on throughout the 21-day series if it's something that you guys like. So yeah, I'd love to know how you all got on, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Bye.